Hello everyone, welcome to Gosport Railworks. My name is James and today we're doing another 3D printed kit. This time we're doing the LSWR 302 class, which is a very older goods locomotive. I think it was a Beattie class, Beattie engine or something like that. Yeah, it just looked like a rather nice 060, and I haven't done a LSWR 060 yet. But this one didn't last all that well. It only lasted till just after grouping, so it's going to be a bit of a limited range, but still is something to start off with. But I do have to mention that this isn't a quite accurate model, as I did have to stretch it a little bit just to make it fit onto the Faris 4F chassis, because if I made it to scale, or to how it's meant to be, yeah, it's a bit short, especially for tender. The tender I did have to extend a fair amount. It's a bit, I don't want to say it's a bit sad, but a bit annoying when you don't really have all the parts which you can get. This is a not particularly good print because it kind of collapsed here, but it did allow me to find out how big the actual class is. So it's a bit inaccurate, but considering that we don't have really any BT engines around in N-gauge, apart from people scratch building them, I think we may be able to allow this one a little pass at the moment. So yeah, it's not quite right, but considering I didn't really have much to work with, it does meant to be in a six-wheeled tender, but as you can see, it doesn't quite fit onto that tender. So yeah, oh well, I have to work with what I've got. And yeah, unfortunately, didn't really end up with much for that. So it still looks the part, and it's still a very unique looking engine. But if you're wondering why I haven't got the nut coupled together, it's because I forgot to order them. Really, got to order the drawbar, so that is on its way, and that will be fitted when I get round to when it arrives, really. So yes. Anyway, first thing I have to do is, well, first of all, I'm going to be drilling out the holes for the handrails. There's not too many I need. Basically, either side of the boiler, and then some little handrail which goes on either side of the cab. Very nice open cab that is, actually. Don't really need to do any on the actual tender, so that's fine. Then the only other thing which I need to do is basically cut some of the chassis away from the 4F chassis. Need to remove a little chunk off the front here, just so that this can sit down all the way, and also maybe remove about half of this part of the chassis block as well. So just basically where you can see painted in gold, maybe across there, or at least half of that across there. Then this will sit nicely on. And like I said, the reason why I also need to stretch it out a bit, because the wheels didn't quite match up with the splashes. So, like I said, it's a bit inaccurate, but considering that we don't have a 302 class, LSWR 302 class in N-gauge, I said it's a pass. Not fully accurate, but it's, I said, the only one we have in N-gauge. So, it's best I can do, really. But anyway, I'm going to start getting to work drilling out these holes. Then I'll add in all the wiring, and yeah, then I'll paint it up, which I'm going to be doing in black with green lining. So it's going to be a 1925 engine. So that should look nice. I will also be adding a little bit of silver on these splashes, because it does look like there is a bit of silver on the black and white pictures, just on these front two splashes on either side. Just add a little bit more extra little bits here. Then I'll add the other little bits details as well when I can. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Don't think there's too much lining elsewhere. It's not something which I really think there would be, but I will have a look at similar engines of the era and see what would have looked like. But not too sure about this area, but oh well, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. The LSWR 302 class was a class of 060 steam locomotives designed by William George Beattie for the London South Western Railway. 36 locomotives were built between 1874 and 1878 by Brer, Peacock and Company in 3 batches of 12. The Class 302 goods locomotives was William Beattie's first design of his own, and were different and substantially larger than the earlier Class 282 Ilfracombe goods. The main difference being that the 302s were inside framed and, with the exception of small coupling rod arches, had straight footplating. As originally built, the locomotives owed much to Beattie's father, Joseph Beattie's designs, and as such, royalty payments were made under Beattie's patent. The driving wheels were of 5 foot diameter, the cylinders 17 by 22 inches, with a boiler pressure of 120 pounds. Most of the class were rebuilt by Adams, at which time the wheel size was increased to 5 foot 1, the cylinders to 17 by 24 inches, and the boiler pressure increased to 160 pounds. With the replacement of a boiler and chimney by one of Adams's design, eventually the chimneys were again replaced by those of a Drummond design. 4 of the locos originally carried names and many were renumbered, mainly due to being added to the duplicate list with the prefix 0 added to their number. Some had new Adams-style cast number plates, whilst others had small plates on the driving wheels fasces, showing the date of rebuilding, whilst number 345 may have had a cancellation line through the pre-existing cab side numbers. 7 locomotives were drawn between 1889 and 1893. This included 4 locomotives that had been rebuilt. The draws recommenced in 1903, and by the end of 1922, only 15 remained in service to be passed to the Southern Railway at grouping. These were all withdrawn by the end of 1925, with all locomotives being scrapped. Right, here we are, the 302 class now on my layout, and it's looking quite nice. Though I know it's not accurate, but unfortunately it's the best I can do for now, as what I'd need is a shorter wheelbase for the loco side of the chassis, and then something smaller for the tender, but still it looks the part and I'm happy with it. But yeah, let's see it go about. Luckily I did manage to get the drawbar today, so ooh, that's the wrong way. Still a bit iffy with that. There we go. There we go. It's shaky at the moment because it's running on a 9-volt battery and it's trying to power my controller at the same time, so yeah, that looks quite nice. But yeah, there's several inaccuracies with it, but yeah, I'm not even sure the livery is correct, because I don't know if it actually wore this livery when it did finally get into Southern ownership. But it was only in Southern ownership for 2 years before they all got scrapped. So I'm not entirely sure if it would have worn this livery. But still, it does look quite nice wearing it either way. Quite happy with that hand-painted lining, worked quite nicely. and also gave these little boxes here, little slight silver along there, and also a little bit of silver on these splashes here. Looks quite nice in my opinion. But yeah, if anybody does want the correct length of the 302 class, do let me know. Then I'll especially make it for you, but do be aware of how short it will be. Like I said, it'll be about, I want to say about centimetres shorter than it is now, something like that. So yeah, it's a very short wheelbase loco, but still, otherwise, if you want this version, it's freely available for, well, not freely available, but it's available for £18 if you want one, and it will fit the Pharos 4F chassis, and it probably will fit the Pharos C class chassis as well, but I haven't tested it with that. But it'll probably be a bit easier to lower it down, because it doesn't have that lump for the firebox as the 4F chassis does. Anyway, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this build. It's a bit different this time because it's a much older loco. It's my first Beattie class, and yeah, very happy with it. But yeah, do let me know what you think. If you do like the video, feel free to, and the normal things. If you do like the video, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. And if you didn't like the video, well, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And that's going to be it from me. So yeah, that's it. And yeah, I'll see you all again next time. So take care now. Bye-bye. Let's see if I can put it the right way around. Nope, that's the wrong way around. There we go. Take care now. Bye-bye. There it goes.